What is going on, everyone? And welcome back to another episode of Black Desert. So, I wanted to make another updated video on the infinite potions because right now we have a drop rate event going on for another week and a half, maybe. So I figured for anyone looking to go for your infinite pots, I wanted to show you some rotations that I did, and just also as an extra, the Marni realm spots, just because everyone can do this in the Marni realm, and that's where you can grind in peace. So yeah, so first of all, to get it, I would recommend doing these quests. It's your weekly, and basically what it does is you kill X amount and you get 5 of the pity pieces. So yeah, that's always good. You'll eventually get it. But I wanted to show you some of the Marni realm spots, that the rotation that I use, and or if the Marni realm spot isn't as great, then I will show you the one I use to get mine. So let's start off first with the Ronaros piece, and it's just because I was in comma first. And before we start, I just want to say thank you guys so much for all the support on the videos lately, all the likes, comments, and new subscribers here. I really do appreciate it. You guys are awesome, and I am hopefully improving the quality of my videos every time, so hopefully everything is informative, and especially for all of you new players out there, I really do appreciate it, and hopefully you're learning something. But with that said, let's start off with the Ronaros one. So here is where you pick up the quest if you want to do the weekly for this one. And honestly, in my opinion, the Ronaros one was a little bit more difficult because the ones that drop it aren't as common as some other spots. So I think Ronaros might take you a little bit longer, but this is where you talk to the NPC to pick it up. And here is where we do it. So I'm going to actually take an L a little bit, use my Marni realm time. I'm not going to show you a full hour. I'm just going to do one rotation in every spot, so you guys can see it. Also, if you're playing a Dark Knight, I'd recommend doing all of this in Awakening because the monsters are not too strong, so your clear speed will be a lot faster if you are in Awakening. I just forgot to change it, and I mean, for the sake of demonstration, let's just do it. So once we get into the Marni realm hour, let's see, I'll show you where I started. Let me just get the thing. All right, cool. So this is where I would consider the bottom. The way you can know is by the rock right here. So what I would do is just go down here. The ones you want are the guardians and the catchers. So basically the ones with the orange back, and the catchers, the one with the red on their back. So you see that one over there, the one with the red tail? That's a guardian, and we want that one. So what we're gonna be doing is basically going down here, and I'm doing this in the Marni realm just because it's something that everyone can grind where in peace. So what I do could be the same thing you do if you wanted to. Okay, so we go down here and kill all of these. Ultimately, you want to just clear everything. It's not a big deal, but I know some of them are the ones you want, like guardians and catchers are the important ones, but in theory, even if you are a fully new season geared player, then you should be fine. 240 is, I think, for the most part, good enough to do a lot of stuff. And so you know you're doing it right if there's a cliff right here, because that is where you should end up over here. Oh my god, lag. And then you go up the little hill right here. So these are just spots I use. If you have a better one, by all means, use that one. But I just wanted to do this video because these are some of the spots that I use personally, and I don't think they're bad, so yeah. So I go over here, pick off these two, a few more guardians, and this spot overall, I think it's one of the better ones for money in terms of all the infinite potions spot pieces. The Tshira Ruins is kind of awful, actually. So is Blood Wolves. So this one you'll at least make your money back, and it's pretty solid. And you could take out these, but ultimately you just want to pick off the important ones when it comes to the center holes. You could probably do this a little bit faster if you are like a speedier class or awakened DK. So over here, remember how I said at the beginning this was where we started with the rock? Yep, we just did a big circle in this area, and this is where you should end up again and keep doing that circle over and over. Okay, next spot. All right, welcome back. So we are currently at the Manshaums forest now. So just click the node, and this is where you'll end up. And honestly, the Marni realm and the non-Marni realm, pretty much the same thing for this spot. It's not like Ronaros where there's two different ones that I used. So this one ultimately is the same rotation that I use. Manshaums was actually the one that took me the longest. So hold on, let me 20 seconds and I'll just pop it. It's the same thing, but just for the sake of actually being in the Marni realm to show you what's blocked off and what's not, I'll do it. 4 seconds. Okay, so basically what you were looking for is the shamans, and I think they actually added something, because before when I was grinding for it, the shamans were the only ones that dropped the ancient pieces, but everything dropped the regular pity ones, and I have 2 infinite mana potions actually. So one on my main and another set of potions on my Sork and on my main. So I've grinded here quite a lot, and this one was actually a pretty hard one, but I think they actually made it easier for your average player nowadays, just because another piece should drop. But anyway, so from the hill where we went up, you come down here, kill everything. The shamans are the ones you want. And a lot of people I know skip this pack right here, but there's a shaman over here, all the way in the back. And you might as well just clear these out too, because there's a chance of you getting a pity piece here. I've gotten it. And then after you clear that, you go up this little ramp right here. Another pack with a shaman right here. It would actually be really funny if I just got it in a demonstration. So here's where things get a little bit weird. So in the non-Marni realm, I would go just like a pack over there, down up there. And so they blocked off like 1 or 2 shamans in the Marni realm, but ultimately it's not a big deal. 1 shaman over here. And so this is where you start to see sometimes people are doing multiple rotations, and there's a rotation that's all the way down there and goes to the far right. Ultimately, I thought that one was a little bit wonky. There's a shaman right here, by the way. Get this one. I thought the bottom rotation was a little bit wonky because there's a lot more movement and things are like not as grouped up as like in here. So that's where I thought it was bad. You could get a pity piece over here if you wanted to, so that's why I do it. Otherwise, shaman. If you're looking for ancient pieces only, I mean, you skip this pack as well. But for the sake of like just everything, just kill everything. You're probably geared enough to do it anyway. Shaman over here. This is definitely a big pull. So I've gotten multiple pity pieces here. The shaman here. This pack wasn't as important, but we do it anyway. Shaman over here. Optional pull, but it's in the way, so might as well. And have a few more over here. Shaman over here, make sure to get that one. And so remember where we started off? The hill was right there. You would clear this again. And then do that. You would clear this one. Go over here. This is the reset. So this is where we started off, and you just keep doing that rotation over and over. So hopefully you learned something, and I will see you guys in the next spot. All right, welcome back to another potion spot. So we are currently in the Navarn Steppe. This is probably one of the most annoying spots for most people from what I've heard, my guildies, friends, Reddit, and all that stuff. So as you all know, the Voltara's Clairvoyance is here. I don't actually know if there's a Marni realm area for this, but like getting this spot right here on any channel at any given time is probably open. So for the sake of not needing it, we'll just do it without it. So I heard in the near future, they're going to actually add DP to Gatherer's Close, just similar to the way Hunter Enclosed has. So that's awesome. That'll mean for places like this, people will be able to gather in peace instead of having to wear actual armor. So anyway, what I'm going to show you is how I did this. Now, what you would be doing is you would have life skill gear on, and then obviously your tool bag on to, it's tanning knife, right? So it's tanning. You want to make sure to have this one. The higher, the better. The more mastery, always better. But if you are like a newer player and you don't have, or you don't like, yeah, you don't have all the monos yet, you could still use the magic tools. It's not bad, but if you're a higher mastery, there's probably a higher chance of you getting it with it. So anyway, for the sake of demonstration, I'm just going to use my regular gear and not go into everything. But I'm going to show you how to do the pulls here. So the way this Navarn works is, you see those blue birds right there? Well, I guess they're all blue because they have a quest on it. So let me just show you. So anyway, these birds look different. And some are like different colored. I wish I didn't have to quest. But if you attack the big blue bird, the smaller ones will start pulling and stacking on it. So what you would do is you get them, and then you use your tanning knife, and you just keep going. So when you're tanning, obviously it takes time, so that's why you would just get them all. And then next pull is over here. Make sure to group them up. You probably won't be killing them as fast in life skill gear. That's just how it goes, but for the sake of demonstration, you could just one attack them, and then honestly, like, as long as they're grouped up for the most part, you're good. This one's a little wonky, so what you're gonna want to do is get this one, and then what you're gonna want to do while they're coming to you is just hold block or do that. And then so how you see how they're all in a group. This is also a good spot to get wind stone fragments, and these fragments are used to make Krogdalo gear, which is for your horse, right? And wind is one of the more popular ones, so make sure to do that. Next, we have this thing. Even if you kill it, they're still gonna aggro on you, so just hold block, ready to go. Cool. Next. And it may look like I'm doing this really quickly, but by the time you like gather or tan all these, the respawn is actually really quick, so just keep that in mind. Like, I may be doing it quickly, but when you actually gather, you'll be fine. Next. And it's a pretty good source of just like income in general. This is optional if you are one of those fast clearers. Pull it over here. There's a lot of them. They group up. And then gather those. So by this point, we're basically finished a rotation. And we'll just use this spot, this rock right here, as a starting spot. And the way you know where you are is, you see, this is where we are, right in the center. this is Old Wisdom Tree, and you see this little blue Farika icon. That's where you know you'll be. But ultimately, it's pretty easy to spot because literally, Old Wisdom Tree, the town is just straight ahead. So if you just find this rock, you're good. All right, next spot. All right, what is going on? Welcome back. So we are at the Sherekhan Necropolis. I was actually a little bit scared I wasn't going to get it while it's still daytime in game. But anyway, this one is a little bit unique from the other one. So first of all, if you are doing the weekly quest, you go to the Sherekhan Necropolis and talk to the NPC over there, and they'll give you the quest for the weekly. So this is the spot I used, and there's two things that you could do during the daytime and nighttime. Personally, I've heard that the nighttime Sherekhans is a lot easier to do, and a higher drop rate to get the piece. However, you use energy at the same time, so it's a little trade-off. But I think if you're going for the infinite potion, money is less relevant, so I think nighttime is overall better. So anyway, let's get into the Marni realm, and I'll show you how it works. Okay, so where we parked our horse was over there, a little bit outside of the range. I think the ones that drop the ancients are the Belkadas and the Garuds, so make sure to look for those. The Belkadas are the ones with the giant two-hander, and the Garuds are like the other ones. I'll show you as I get to it. Yeah, the Garuds are like the battle axe ones. But anyway, if you aren't in the Marni realm, ultimately the spot's the same thing. I didn't really notice too much of a difference. What you would do is you pop your tent buff right, or your tent right in the center, and that's how you know. So anyway, go over to this spot right here, and then we'll get those in a second. But you want to go around the tree, because what we're doing is a big circle for the most part. If your clear speed is really fast, you can do these as well. And I wouldn't go all the way in the back because the respawn is like, the respawn is pretty quick here. So what I do is go over there, kill those in the back. Go over here, and when we first started, like the center. So notice how we put our tent, or I guess, let me just put my tent there so we can give you a demonstration. Somewhere in the center, it doesn't matter where really. Take these. And once again, doing this in Awakening as a Dark Knight, significantly faster than Succession. It also, I guess, depends on your AP. If your AP is a little bit lower, Succession might be a little bit better. But ultimately, this spot's not too difficult to the point where I think no matter, as long as you're full geared on season, you'll be fine. So we go over here, and this was the spot, remember, where we started. And by this point, everything's respawned again. So that was the spot. Let's go over. And honestly, this one wasn't too bad. In terms of silver, it's pretty decent as well. Just because they actually buffed a lot of the potion piece spots, and the trash loot is worth like 12k here, so that's awesome. So with that said, that one is done, and I will see you guys on the next spot. All right, welcome back to the Tshira spot. So this is actually one of the worst ones. I hated it so much. And so the Marni realm area is like directly in the center, and I personally didn't really like that one as much, because that one will give you more pity pieces. But if you're looking for the ancient just to get it done, I think this spot is a little bit better, and a lot of people of the community say this spot is one of the better ones as well, mostly because there's a lot of leaf keeper, or just keepers in general, are the ones that drop the ancient ones. So I'm going to show you the rotation that I think is overall better, but if you are just fast clear speed class, the center is the whole Marni realm. But for the most part, I don't think this spot is super populated. No matter what channel you're on, you'll probably be able to find an open rotation. But anyway, here's where we're starting. By the like trees over here that's not green, but they're more yellowish, and you'll see a ramp right here. So this is where we start. You could pop your tent here and stuff. So anyway, our goal is to get the keepers. So I usually start by doing this route. We start going down here. People said that Tshira is one of the easiest spots to do. As for me, as getting 2 entire potion pieces, or 2 entire potions, I should say, it was not easy. But maybe I'm just unlucky. And yet, 100% Awakening DK, a better choice here. So, right down here would be like a little bridge, but we don't go down that route. We go this way. And if it has Keeper in the name, it drops the Ancient Piece, which is why there's the highest chance of you getting it from one of these. So ultimately, even as an average speed class, you're probably going to find out that you're over clearing. So I'll show you some extensions that you're going to go towards. So remember how we parked our horse over here? We are over here. Things are just now slowly respawning, but we'll ignore that one. We go down the ramp and you'll see a lot of stuff over here. It would actually be really funny if we just got it. I would kind of be mad actually if we got one here, because there's 0 shot I'm going for a 3rd mana potion. But anyway, we go up here. There's a lot of keepers. Also, this is a very good spot for anyone that needs the residue thingy for your Garmoth's Heart and whatnot. So another place to get it. I think I'd recommend Blood Wolves. Those give a little bit more, but this spot's not a bad one either. And so that was this part. So we're almost done now. We're just going backtracking a little bit. This mob, or this pole right here, was where I got my Ancient Piece for the second one. But ultimately, you'll be good getting it anywhere. The music is actually creepy. I don't think I've ever heard it. And so by the time you get back here, things are fully respawned. You go do that again. And yeah, you just keep grinding here for another like 200 hours and you'll be done with Tshira. This place is actually awful. I never want to do it again, and I feel bad for anyone that has to do it. So yep, this is where we parked our horse, and I will see you in the final spot, which is Blood Wolves. All right, so we are at the Blood Wolves rotation. We're at the node manager right now. If you're doing the weekly, this is the NPC you talk to get it. And what I'm going to show you is actually 2 different spots for this last one, because one is pretty contested, and the one I grinded, you barely ever saw anyone, and that's where I got my piece from. So first of all, we're going to show you the Marni realm spot, which is, I would say, the slightly better one. But ultimately, if you're just trying to grind without disruptions, then yeah, don't do that. So here's the main rotation that we all know and love. And this is the Marni Realm Hour. So we park our horse over here because nothing will attack it, right? And unless they changed something recently, I don't remember, you'll get it from the executioners, right? So let's go into the Marni Realm right now, and I'll show you the rotation. So let's say we parked our horse over there, right? So we go up this little ramp stairs right now, and keep following the path. This one is super easy. You don't even really need to have too much gear. So I think it recommends 190. Yeah, you can be here and do this efficiently with like 160. So yeah, over here, more executioners. So this one is the spot that I think people say is arguably better, but sometimes it is contested, and obviously most potion piece spots are. But this one, you'll probably see more people in general. So that's why I'm showing you the Marni Realm one. But I'm going to show you a spot that you can grind off your Marni hour, and it's probably just as good. But first of all, do this rotation. One thing that I feel like got changed was there's a executioner in here, right? And it's kind of annoying to get to him because he's like all the way in the back. But yeah, for the most part, just keep following the path, and then it'll lead you back to where you parked your horse again. So this is main rotation. And this is where we parked the horse. So we're back at the beginning. We do this one again and just keep doing this loop over and over. And now I want to show you an extra spot in here that we go to. Let's say you want to grind multiple hours and this one is contested. So yeah, that beacon was our starting point. What you're going to want to do now is park your horse like roughly over here. And this is the spot I actually used more. And just because it's not contested at all. So anyway, start over here. Get that. Big pull over here. Executioner. Another big pull. Executioner again. Oh yeah, I guess I forgot to show you where it is on the map. So from the node, you go down a little bit. So from the picture, right under there. Then this one is optional. You don't really have to do it as much, but the big one doesn't respawn as fast. So if you skip it, it's not really a big deal. We're going back. Take this pull. Pull that violent one over here. Get that one. Go down to ramp. Another one. Pull in the corner. Another one over here. You could skip all of those. Optional pack over here, but it's on the way, so you might as well get it. And this is where we started again from our horse. And you just basically keep doing the rotation. If you're clearing too fast, which you shouldn't be, you could just go over here, get this pull over here, pull this one, and just do like the oval loop as well. But it really just depends on your class. Are you going too fast or not? And then there's a executioner over here. And then you just follow the little watery bridge and pick things off. But you'll figure that out over time. Figure out how fast your clear speed is. And that's it. You just keep doing this loop over and over until you get it. So hopefully you enjoyed it. And once again, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I know I did one in the past, but this one is a more updated one. And especially now while we have the event on, even if you don't have a drop rate event on, these are spots I would actually use no matter what. So yeah, anyway, I'll see you guys tomorrow. If you are new, be sure to hit that subscribe button. I try to upload videos pretty regularly, almost every day. And for all of you who are new to the channel, thanks so much. Hope you're learning something, and I will see you later.